Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Ricardo Garcia from the USC College Advising Corps, and today I'll be showing you how to look at the housing rates for different universities. So as most of you will be going to university within the coming fall, if you decide to live there, it can be kind of confusing to look at the housing rates and what they have to offer. So the difference between the housing rates and things of that nature. So we'll be looking at what's the difference between a double, a single, even a triple sometimes, or sometimes even if it's possible to live in a university apartment. So today I'll be showing, for the example, I'll be using it's one of the universities, which would be UCLA. So as you can see on the screen right now, um, as you can see on the screen right now, there are definitely a lot of housing options you can have. So this is for the 2019-2020. So for 2020-2021, which would be your year, that doesn't necessarily they haven't put up to date because of everything that's going on. So let's look at the housing rate. So for on-campus housing, there is a lot of options available to you. So there's a classic residence hall, there's a deluxe residence hall, there's a residential suites and residential plazas, and there's also other residential plazas, which are two different ones. So let's break them down one by one. So let's go to classic residence halls right here. So there's separate men's and women's community bathrooms per wing. So it's basically a hall that you share the restroom with the entire floor. Now it's not just one restroom, not just one toilet, not just one shower. It's about multiple ones, but probably approximately about 5 of them, give or take, which would essentially help you out. So there's a single, you can have your own a single room, a double, and a triple. So a single is obviously you have your own room. A double means there's 2 bedrooms, and a triple means there's 3 bedrooms in it. So a bunk bed and as well as another bed there. You will be sharing this in the classic one. Now for UCLA classic halls do not come with air conditioning, and they tend to be a lot smaller than the deluxe ones. So for the classic ones, there's Dykstra, there's Hedrick, Reber, and Sproul. Those are 4 classic dormitories that are available at UCLA. Now, as an incoming freshman, you are guaranteed 3 years of housing on campus. So you have the option to choose one, and this is obviously not a lottery system. Now let's go to the deluxe one. So there's the Nev Gardenia Way, there's Holly Ridge, Sprout Cove, and Landing. Now for this one, they don't have the option of the single. They only have a double and a triple, and the triple there. So this one will be come up since it's considered deluxe. It is a bit more expensive. We'll look at the prices really soon, but since that is how it works, there's only a double and a triple. Now let's look at the residential suites and residential plazas. There's shared bathroom for 2 rooms. So it's 2 rooms and they share one bathroom. Instead of sharing with the entire floor, you only share with 2 rooms. Now they could be a double and they could be a triple. So depending on what you get, you could share with 4 people, you could share with 6 people. That's how that would work because that's how it's placed. And there's Hitch, there's Hedrick Summit, Reber Terrace, Reber Vista, Saxon, and Sunset Village. So we have a bit more options for the residential suites and residential plazas. Now let's look at the residential plazas. So it's a private bathroom. So it's basically the same thing, except now you have your own bathroom you can either share with one roommate with a double, or you can share with 2 other roommates with a triple. So that gives you a bit more privacy if you want more privacy within the restroom and things of that nature. Then there's for the residential plaza suite, there's a shared bathroom per 5 rooms. Then you can have a single, and for every 5 rooms, there's one restroom. So that's how that'll work, okay? Now let's look at the prices. So of course, now I give you a bunch of information. Now let's look at the price because the most important thing. From what I know, the classic halls, in terms of on-campus housing, the classic halls are a bit cheaper. They are a bit cheaper because they don't come with air conditioning and it tends to be a lot smaller. So let's go to, since there's a lot of options here, let's look at Dykstra Hall. So you have to ensure that you are clicking what hall you want and as well as what meal plan you want. So there's 19p, 14p, 19, 14, and 11. Now what does as you know, what does the p mean? The p essentially means, so 19, 14, 19, 14, and 11, as you can see right here, they're all how much meals you get per week. Now once you get that, that'll definitely show you how many meals you have per week. So you get 11 meals per week, 14 meals per week, 19 meals per week, and then 14p and 19p. If you're planning on going home every week, then the 11 will be more convenient to you. If you don't go home on the weekends, then probably the 14 or the 19 would be. So 14 would be 2 meals a day, then 19 would be 3 meals every weekday and 2 meals on the weekends. Now 14p and 19p, let's say you do go home every other weekend and you don't want to lose those meals because you're not on campus, then those 14p, let's say you only use 10 of them, then you have 4 left, correct? Then those 4 would roll over. So what P essentially means is it will roll over to the next one. And in terms of for 14, let's say you only use 10 of them, you only have 14 regular, then you only use 10 of them, those 4 will go to waste. So 19p is a premium, which essentially would roll over every single thing. Now for room So now let's look at the rates. So depending on the meal plan you get, it depends on the average. So if you get 9TP, it'll cost you about $19,587. If you get 11, it gets cost you $18,335. So there is a significant difference, about $1,200 per difference and stuff like that. That's for the full academic year though. If you want to look at like per quarter, I guess you could say, for mid-year spring, then it could be about $6,000 basically per quarter. And if you do the math, that will add up to $19,000. Now that's for that one. You can also do monthly payments, quarterly payments, or you can pay it all in full. Majority of the students, I would say, paid off in full, but there are some students that pay monthly payments as well. Now, so that's for the classic residence hall. Now let's go somewhere. Let's say you want the air conditioning, you want more space, and you want a double because you want your space or whatever. Let's go to the double occupancy room. Then that one is a bit cheaper because that's because for the academic year and the location and things like that. So it costs you roughly, if you want the most meals you can get, 19p, which would be 3 meals per every weekday, and on the weekend you only get 2 meals. It'd be $17,145. Now, if you only want 11 meals because you go home on the weekends, it'll only be $15,893.88. That's how that would work. Now, let's say, oh my God, this sounds really too expensive, and I go home every weekend and things like that. There's also undergraduate university apartments. So what this is, what this is basically an apartment that is owned by the university. So it's already furnished, there's already a bedroom, there's already a stove, there's already couches, there's everything already installed in there. So that'll help you out because if you want to you just want to move in and already do your thing, then that'll help you out a lot because that essentially can help you just move in already and not have to worry about furniture and things like that. So there's a 1-bedroom unit with 2 or 3 occupants, which means you could be in a double or triple, a 2-bedroom with 3 or 4 occupants, which could mean there could be a double or a triple and things like that, or 2-bedroom, it could be a double and 1 single and things like that. And then 2-bedroom with 5 occupants, which would be 2-bedroom, 1 triple, 1 double. And then 2-bedroom with 6 and 8 occupants would be 2 triples or 2 quints, so 2 bunk beds. And a 3-bedroom with 6 or 9 occupants, so 3 beds and obviously a triple or doubles for each and every single one of them. Now all of these vary on prices. Now let's look at the one I used to have. So let's look at 2-bedroom units with 3 or 4 occupants. The prices are already here. So an academic unit, so it depends on which kind of unit you get and things like that. It could be here. So there could be a total payment of $10,488 if you share the room, the shared bedroom. So you're in a double essentially. Now if you get a single room, the single bedroom, then it'll be $10,944. This is significantly a lot lower than the doubles we're looking at. So let's say you want to live in a single. So the single room for here would cost you about $10,944, which is relatively a lot cheaper than the double that came with meals. The biggest thing about this is a university apartment does not come with meals. You have to cook. There's already a stove and things like that, which the dormitories do not have at all. And that's how it would come out. So this is essentially a way for you to have your own space. It does give you more space because it's an apartment, obviously. You don't have to do any social gatherings, things like that. So this is essentially significant, like about, if we do the math, about $7,000, $8,000 cheaper than the dormitory, but you do have to buy your own food and things like that. So you probably would eat out a lot more because you need to eat, or you would have to cook a lot more because that's essentially, you need to live. So that's how it works. This is just for UCLA. Obviously, every school has its different thing. Now, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you.